Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Now it's been a while since I released a video on this channel, but I'm starting to feel the motivation again. I hope you guys enjoy. Today's what if will be what if Naruto was the Soul Reaper part 1. I hope you guys enjoy. Get this video to 10 likes and I'll give you part 2 as soon as I can. I don't know when, but trust me, it'll come out eventually. Oh, I hope you guys enjoy and I'll see you guys in the video. Today's story will start off like any other What If Naruto story, as the attack of the nine-tailed fox would begin. Minato has just finished beating up Obito, but the fight wasn't over yet. As he appeared in the middle of the field, he would see his wife, Kushina, holding their newborn baby. Minato would run over to check on his wife to see if she's okay, and she would be, though a little bit lost on blood and chakra, of course. Ripping out the nine-tailed fox after giving birth did take a toll on her, as she'd be very tired and don't know what to see properly, as everything would be blurry. Minato would grab Naruto, as he would look at the nine-tailed fox, still causing massive damage to the forest area, and eventually going back to Konoha. Looking at his wife, Kushina would immediately know what's about to happen. She would try to argue, but at her weakened state, she wouldn't be able to get much words out. As Minato would stare at her, Kushina would eventually realize that this is the only option. They couldn't sacrifice another baby if they couldn't even sacrifice their own. As Minato would look at Kushina, she would give a nod of reassurance, as her consent would be confirmed. The two of them walking, because Kushina couldn't really run, or technically teleporting. As the both of them would teleport, the fox would look down to see the both of them. As the both of them would start to go through hand signs, the fox would immediately know what's about to happen. As its paw would try to jump down and crush both of them, they would finish the seal as the Shinigami would appear right in front of them. The paw getting stuck or getting blocked by the Shinigami looking up to see the fox staring into its eyes. Once again, it was about to be sealed in a new container. The Shinigami would look at the two people who had summoned him, being surprised, as normally it'd take one, but looking closer at it, their life energy was pretty low, and they couldn't actually commit to one person, so both of them would have to seal them. Both their life energy combining would be able to summon the Shinigami, as the Shinigami would look down to see Naruto, the newborn baby, and the new holder of the Uzumaki name. Minato would look at the baby, so would the Shinigami, as the Shinigami would know what's about to happen. Looking at the two parents, he would look at them as if to confirm, Minato nodding, as the Shinigami would grab the nine-tailed paw, which tried to crush both of them but was stopped because of him, and start shoving it into the baby's new seal, appearing on its stomach. The fox would try to fight back, but nothing would be done, as the Shinigami is far too powerful for the fox to even damage. As Minato and Kushina would watch the fox get absorbed in, Kushina's hands would start to slip, as the sealing process would be halted. The fox, being able to finally act, would immediately try to stab the baby. The both of them would jump in the way, getting pierced, along with their loss of life energy would make them very weak, as the hand signs they were holding would start to waver. But the Shinigami would continue, but because of this, without the Shinigami knowing, some of its energy would start to be seeped into Naruto. The Shinigami having so much life energy wouldn't even notice that some of it was going into the baby. Eventually, the fox would be sealed inside, but at that point, the Shinigami would notice that some of its energy was gone, about 10% of it, but before it could do anything about it, it would be desummoned, as his work has been done. Minato and Kushina would fall to their ground, the fox's claw would disappear, as they would be in each other's arms. Naruto crying in his crib, they would smile, as they would hope that their newborn baby would have the life, or have a good life at least. Inside the cage, Kurama would be crashing into the cage, thinking to itself that it's been sealed once again. As it would rage, it would eventually realize that it could do nothing at this moment. Naruto's chakra pass hasn't been made yet, and it seems it won't be made in a time being. As it would close its eye, trying to sleep, eventually it'd feel a source of energy go through the water. Opening its eyes, he would notice the water rippling, as something would start to appear from the middle. A handle would start to grow out, and eventually a sword would stand there. Kurama would be surprised as he would stare at the blade. It has been a while since I've seen something like this. Staring at the sky of Naruto's eyes, being able to see through Naruto's vision, he would look at the sky. I wonder what path this child would take. as it eventually closed its eyes once again. 5 years would pass as Naruto would be sitting on the swing, so famously known for being the swing that he sat on in the anime. He'd be watching the kids playing around with each other, but none of them would even get close to Naruto. Even though it was a very sunny day and it was very hot, they wouldn't even get close to the tree for shade. Naruto would be swinging alone. This timeline, he has been treated very poorly because he doesn't actually have any chakra. During the first test of every student, they would try to see the chakra levels of each student, and Naruto, having barely any, surprisingly due to his Jinchuriki, but also because he's also an Uzumaki. This would surprise Hiruzen, old man in Naruto's eyes, as Hiruzen would think that Naruto would have a bunch, but he doesn't. In fact, he barely has any, enough to keep him alive at least, almost like Rock Lee, but Naruto has a little bit more, able to do a little bit jutsus like walk on water and chakra walking, of course. Naruto would be treated much worse due to the fact that his possibilities of becoming a ninja were very slim. As Naruto would be watching the kids, he would think of it as boring and get up and start to leave. It was recess after all, and not like anyone would care if he's missing. He would eventually leave the academy and start walking through the streets. Everyone would be staring at him, but not have a high chance because they knew that Naruto wouldn't be able to become a ninja and that they would be above him at all times. Naruto would be very depressed at the moment he figured out he had no chakra, and he has almost accepted it as his life. No chakra, no family, no friends, just lonely. Walking by, he would notice a kid sitting down on the dock. This would be Sasuke Uchiha. The Uchiha massacre has happened at the age of 3 for him, and now he's alone at the age of 5 as long as Naruto. Sasuke would look up to see Naruto, but wouldn't say anything, and Naruto wouldn't say anything either. The both of them would be lonely, but in their loneliness, they wouldn't want to make other friends. While Naruto would be walking, he would notice some people talking to some people in the graveyard. Naruto's always had this special ability, which he's never told anyone. He was able to see souls, or what he calls them, ghosts. As he'd walk by the graveyard, he'd see ninja talking to their old comrades who have died in the war or any on mission. As Naruto would like to watch the conversation, the ghosts not being able to conversate with the living person, but trying their best to, as the comrades would start to talk to each other, or hoping they are. But Naruto knows the truth, and the comrades that are dead are in fact talking to him. But every time he goes to the graveyard, he would see this one shinobi always appear and last there for at least 3 hours. As he would watch this blinded shinobi, or what he considered blind because one of his eyes was covered, and he would wear a mask. His gray hair defying gravity would just stand there looking at the rock. Naruto would watch as a girl, almost the same age as him, would walk around the rock talking to Kakashi, but Kakashi, not being able to see ghosts, wouldn't be able to talk back. As Kakashi would go on about what's happening in his life, Rin being able to listen to all of it, as Naruto would smile, but notices that Kakashi, he learned Kakashi's name because of Rin, because Rin would talk to Kakashi in the spirit world, and Naruto could understand that. As Naruto would watch Kakashi be talking to nothing at least, but for Naruto, he was talking to Rin. Rin knows that Kakashi can't see him, but she would look over to see Naruto. She's always seen Naruto appear near the graveside and just watch them, and almost as if it's almost as if he knew that they were there. Rin would think nothing of it and continue listening to Kakashi's life so far. Naruto would be confused though, because Kakashi would talk about Rin and Obito, yet he has not even seen Obito at all. Maybe he was hiding, or maybe he was alive. He wouldn't know. But he would stop listening and head back to the academy. Heading back to the academy would be another test of chakra, as he'd be called up to do a clone. Unlike the original, where he had too much chakra to complete a clone. Sorry about that. There was a cut. I had to do something real quick. Anyways, continue on to the story. Unlike in canon times, Naruto couldn't make shadow clones because he had too much chakra. But in this timeline, he doesn't have enough chakra, so he wouldn't be able to make a clone. as the clones would appear deformed and raggedy. As they would dispel, they would leave a black smoke, unlike regular gray or white smoke, showing that the clone was not perfect and pretty bad. Every student in the classroom would laugh at Naruto as Naruto would just look down. This is the 10th time he's tried this, and no matter how hard he tries, he can never do it. Hiruzen would give him some tips on how to increase chakra input, but he would never be able to. He just simply didn't have enough of it. As the times would go on, eventually, at the age of 13, they would all have their final exam. Naruto, of course, failing due to the fact that he did not have a lot of chakra, so he wasn't able to do the clone jutsu or the transformation jutsu, failing even worse than he did in canon. Because at least in canon, he was able to do the sexy jutsu, and that technically counted as a transformation, but he couldn't do a clone. So, anyways, he failed even worse. After that, he would walk home. No one would tell that he failed to, which is, I guess, a bonus, as if he did have parents, they'd be pretty disappointed. But since he didn't have any, he would just walk to his apartment. But before he get there, he would pass the Ichiraku ramen shop. They were looking at Naruto as they tried to call him in, to give him ramen, but he would decline, saying he had no money. They were going to give it to him for free, but before they could say anything, he'd already be gone. The closer he got to his apartment, someone would appear in front of him. Mizuki. Oh, hey Mizuki-sensei, as Mizuki would smile. Behind his mask would be in rage, as he would be looking at the demon fox. Naruto, not knowing this, would just greet him like normal, as Mizuki would smile. Hey Naruto, I heard that you failed. Naruto would look down immediately, as Mizuki would pat him on the head, which would kill him in the inside, but he has to do what he has to do. So, I have an idea. Naruto would be confused, but would perk up. Don't you want to pass? And Naruto would immediately shake his head. Mizuki telling him the plan of stealing the scroll of forbidden jutsu and learning one jutsu would allow him to pass. Naruto super eager to do this, as he would immediately agree, Mizuki smiling as he would disappear. Naruto heading towards the Hokage office as fast as he could. Luckily, no one was there, as it would be pretty dark in the days, and due to peace lasting a very long time, they wouldn't have any guards there, which is pretty dumb on my part, but we gotta make some changes in the plot to allow Naruto to steal it. He'd eventually steal the scroll and leave, but at the moment he left, Hiruzen would walk in, seeing a glimpse of Naruto's hair, and of course seeing the door that holds the seal open, immediately realizing that Naruto stole the scroll of sealing, but would not do anything as his curiosity would let him watch. Of course, if things go worse, he can always pop up and steal it back, or take it back technically, as he would watch through his magical orb. Naruto would appear in the area which Mizuki has assigned him to, as he would go through the scroll, everything looking very hard, and a lot of them saying that they require a lot of chakra, which would deplete Naruto's self-esteem much more. As you would see a cool one called Shadow Clone, but that requires a lot of chakra, and even if he did try to do it, he would die immediately, as he would frown. Looking at all these jutsus, which had very cool names and very cool abilities, all of them said must have high chakra. Most of these jutsus created by Hokages, which had a lot. Being very depressed, he would read all the way to the bottom until he saw one that didn't need that much chakra, as it would be called Release. Not knowing what that is, he would look at it, and the description said releases life energy from user. Naruto didn't know about this. They were not taught about life energy, or they did, but it was said to be chakra. So does that mean that if Naruto does this jutsu, he'd be able to release his chakra? Has that been holding him back the whole time? Was there a seal on him that stopped him from being able to access all of his chakra? Naruto, reading the description, would smile a grin, as this might be the moment that he releases his super epic powerful chakra, which he thinks to himself. Looking at the hand signs, he'd put his hands in the ram hand sign as he'd meditate, trying to find that energy which this scroll speaks of. Life energy, he would be thinking, as he would try to look deep inside him. Feeling the coils of chakra wrapping around his body, he would notice that it was very thin, very, very thin. as he would follow it, and then his stomach. It would lead to his stomach as he would start to feel around, but then he would notice a coil. Something was stuck. It was wrapped around each other. The thin chakra was stuck by some other wire. He would feel it. It was much lighter than chakra. Chakra having a light blue color to it. This one was pure white. He would feel around it, not knowing what it is, but he knew if he unbind it, it would release his chakra, making it grow. As he would try to meditate, control his chakra to unwind itself. Him trying, Mizuki would eventually arrive in the area, seeing Naruto meditating on the ground, as this would be a moment to steal the scroll. Jumping down, he would walk over to the scroll, but Naruto wasn't focused on that. He was too enveloped in this strange energy that was wrapped around his stomach. Little did Naruto know this was actually the seal which Minato put on him. But this energy wasn't the fox's. The fox's field or sealed much deeper inside. Naruto was touching the Shinigami's energy. And then over time, due to Naruto's life being put in constant danger, it would continue to grow. Realizing that Naruto's life is very easily, lost, it would continue to build up its own life energy to make sure Naruto does not die. As Naruto finally unwinds it. In both of his hands, one his thin chakra, the other the white line. Mizuki would roll up the scroll as he would look at Naruto. Maybe I should kill this kid. As he'd take out a kunai ready to slit Naruto's throat unaware that Naruto has just unlocked his true capabilities. Hiruzen was about to teleport in and stop the murder of his favorite student, or, Naruto, as he would not want to fail Minato and Kushina again. But before he did, energy would explode just out of the area, even him feeling it. Every civilian, every shinobi would feel it. An energy that has just been released, not chakra, no, it was much deeper. They could feel it in their bones, their soul, they could breathe, and it'd be cold. Hiruzen would be in absolute shock. As he would look outside, there was no fox, and in the orb, Naruto wasn't emanating a red energy. In fact, he was emanating nothing. As the sweat off of Mizuki's face after or when he was about to slit Naruto's throat would evaporate. The grass would seem very still. In fact, the wind would stop. The clouds would stop in the air as well. Naruto's energy would just flow. Everything would stop. As Mizuki would break out of it, he's like, what the I can't say that. What the hell? As he would jump back with the scroll. Naruto feeling such immense power. His chakra coils were low, but in this other sense, it had straight energy. He couldn't explain it. It would cover his body as he would open his eyes. Everything was clear. It was smooth. He could see everything. He could hear everything. Standing up, he would look at Mizuki with the scroll. Oh, hey Mizuki. As Mizuki would be surprised, Naruto waving at him, not understanding the situation yet. Mizuki would try to play it off, but Uraka would pop up, yelling at Naruto. At this moment, Naruto would realize he'd been tricked, and that would be too late, as the Fuma Shuriken would be flying at his face, but it was very slow. It wasn't moving that well at all. He was able to sense it, but Uraka got in the way, getting himself stabbed. This would enrage Naruto, as he wouldn't release the fox's chakra. No. Something would pop up in his head. He wanted a sword. He needed a sword, as he would hold his hand out. Mizuki in confusion, same with Uraka, as a light would start to form in the palm of Naruto's hand. Kurama inside the steel would open its eyes, a long eternal sleep he had been having, as the sword that was in the middle would start to disintegrate. Kurama would smile. Oh, so he finally unlocks it. Sitting up, he would watch as the sword would sink back into the water. As Naruto, in the outside world, a handle would be formed. It would be a sword. Naruto hand falling down, as this sword would be massive. Think of the executioner blade that Zabuza has, but much thinner. as Naruto would be holding this massive sword. Mizuki would be surprised as Naruto could feel the energy rolling through it. He'd be surprised as he had pointed at Mizuki. Give the scroll back! But Mizuki would laugh. You failed the getting exam. Do you really think I will listen to you? Naruto, having a weird sense of energy, would take a step, but with that one step, he would disappear. Mizuki would be surprised as Naruto would appear behind him with the sword, about to slash them. But he would dodge, obviously being a veteran shinobi. As Naruto would look at the big sword, he was able to handle it pretty well. He was able to hold it, wield it, swing it around with no motion as he would stare at Mizuki. Throughout the years, due to Naruto not having chakra, he of course would be doing some training, reading. He would only fail in the combat and chakra part of the class, but he'd be pretty smart in the book smart area. So he'd been training, he'd been reading a lot of books, and he always liked swords, so he'd read a lot of Kenjutsu books. So his sword style is a bit bad, his posture is terrible, but he has the knowledge to achieve it. But due to the lack of experience and lack of actually training with the sword, he is pretty bad at it. As Mizuki would stare, Naruto would be surprised that he teleported, as the word would pop up in his head, flash step. He would smile as he continued to do this, not realizing that it's taking away his life energy, or it's using his spiritual energy, which he doesn't know yet. But Naruto has a lot. Due to the fact that Minato and Kushina sealed the Shinigami, 10% of the Shinigami, and the Fox Spirit. The Fox is considered life energy or spiritual energy, so Naruto didn't get the chakra of the fox, but he got the spiritual energy of the fox. Of course, Naruto will eventually get some more chakra later on, but that's in a later date. As Naruto would be disappearing and appearing, basically doing what Ichigo did during the fight of rescuing Rukia. As after images would start to appear, Mizuki has never dealt with such a fast enemy before, so this would be pretty bad for him. As suddenly a slash would appear on his back, a massive wound, as blood would splatter everywhere, Naruto being surprised that he actually hit him. Mizuki would fall to the ground as Anbu would arrive everywhere, holding Naruto at sword point, same with Mizuki. Ruka would stand up and tell everyone that Naruto's not at fault here, and that Mizuki tricked him. They would all lower their swords and pick up Mizuki, and eventually take him to jail. The next day, Naruto would be in the Hokage office as Hiruzen would be amazed. A giant sword would be on his back. Do you know what that is, Naruto? As Naruto would shake his head no. He has no idea, but he likes carrying it around. Hiruzen would immediately realize that this is the moment they should train Naruto. Naruto has just unleashed a random power that they have never heard of before. And if it's this powerful, from what he has seen through the orb, a flash step Naruto called it, then it probably has more capabilities. He would assign Naruto a trainer, as Naruto would now begin his sword training to increase his abilities. At this moment, he does not know what this power is, but soon he will. Anyways, that'll be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoy. Please like, subscribe, share this video with friends, and remember to get this to 10 likes and you'll get part 2. I hope you guys enjoy, and watch any other video on my channel because part 2 won't be coming out that fast. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. See ya.